And so the whole thing is for me to be able to present. So let's create a new layout. Same thing again, add media slot. You can see that the PDF presentation is already in there. And we can say add another item camera slot. We'll change this to fill, pull this over to the side here, and put this down some, and push this in. And there we have our presentation. And we can add this in here. And let's click save, and we'll call this presentation. Presentation, right? Presentation, save as new layout. I will go back to the presentation layout here on the bottom. You can see that these layouts that we're creating are all filling in on the bottom, and whatever we name it is also uh, that is what the highlighted text that comes up is the name that we're giving it. So presentation, host plus panel, modded 3-person, mod 2-person. Now here again, we can control our slideshow by clicking through the different slides, and I can make my presentation this way. That's what the audience will see. Those are the 5 tips, and that will kind of take us to the end of that portion of the presentation, if you will. And now let's go ahead and remove both of them. Let's remove the background, which is our media slot, and let's remove the camera. We'll go back to a regular layout, and now we want to use a background because the last of the layouts, 5 layouts that I promised you, is the teaching layout. So the teaching layout is pretty much where you can share a screen, or you can share a video, or you can share a presentation in the traditional sense. So if you had like a slideshow, PowerPoint, Keynote, you can share that in the traditional sense right here. I'll give you an example. Let's create the scene first. Let's create the layout first. So new layout. On top of this background, we're going to click new layout. All we got to do is click camera slot. So we're going to create that. Let's call that fill. And let's pull that in some. Right there, right there, right there. Push that in some right there and pull that down. Okay. You can see how that will kind of all line up there. You can use your arrows to adjust that to get it just where you want it to be. And then now we can simply add a media slot. We can add a media slot, and I want to line that up right on this thing here. We're going to use the arrows just to kind of get that thing really on there. So now we have our media slot, we have our camera slot. Let's save, and I want to call this teaching. Right, see, click that, save that as a new layout. We then add my camera in, and we can add in a share screen. And you'll notice it goes right into place where we want it to be for, let's say, whatever we're doing in terms of our live show. This is a shared screen that we can show in there. But let's say maybe we want to actually show a presentation. Same presentation, same PDF will work. That we can share that and it will go into the scene in this layout, this particular teaching layout that will share either a slideshow or screen share. It will share that into the scene just like that. But let's say you're like me and you go on Amazon Live to sell stuff. You want to share a video. I've got these videos added to my computer on my machine. I can add any one of these videos in, and it will just come right into that slot. I don't have to change scenes. I don't have to do anything much. I can be talking about this item. I can be highlighting it on Amazon, and I can have this video playing like this in this way. So many different cool things that we're able to do with these 5 custom layouts. I hope that you are going to try them out. I hope that you saw something here that kind of piqued your interest, that kind of said to you, okay, maybe I can give these 5 these few layouts a try, this custom layouts feature a test drive, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Did I mention I love Canva? I hope I did. Also, did I mention PDF slides can be uploaded and stay in your StreamYard Studio until you delete them? Family, remember the cheat code here is designing the background first and then placing your camera or media asset on top. Whether you use the PDF slide or a traditional background image depends on what you have in that layout. I use PDF for pretty much everything except layouts that have a shared video or shared screen. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more custom layouts or some more detailed Canva designs from this channel. Be sure to subscribe so you get notified when we have new videos, new content, or live shows. Take care, fam. Happy streaming.
Innovative new mattresses are coming out all the time. And you'll find all the latest trends at Sit and Sleep. Hey, Drew, does that mean we're trending? No, Dad. And when it comes to technology, one brand that's always trending is Tempur-Pedic and their revolutionary new Active Breeze mattress that lets you control the temperature on each side of the bed. As an elite Tempur-Pedic retailer, you'll find a complete line of Tempur products and get a $300 gift with purchase. Single beat anyone's advertised price on your mattress is free. Organic and dairy free. Well, here we go. Every time of the day. At Sprouts, our shelves are filled with new, exciting, and delicious discoveries. This is that Sprouts feeling.
The term generic signals something plain, while the term custom means specific or unique. There are many stream graphics packages available that fall in the general category, some free and some that are reasonably priced. And there are ways to take those general graphics and make them custom for your show. Today, we'll show you how to do just that using my favorite graphics tool, Canva. I'm Kirk Nugent, the live video coach, and on this channel, I show you how to use live streaming to grow and engage an audience, to funnel clients to your business, and to establish yourself as a thought leader. And today, we're looking at how to customize your stream graphics using Canva. Let me start by sharing there are many places to purchase generic stream graphics. And I'll list a few here for you. You might want to check them out. StreamerTemplates.com, definitely a great one. StreamArtStudio.com, I've used some from there before. Merch.livestreamingpros.com, and that's the one I use for eCam. And then my personal favorite, KirkRNugent.com/graphics. We use the red and black graphics package from my site for our example today. So let's dive in. So here we are on my website, kirkmartinmission.com/graphics. And this is the page you can go to grab a graphics package. They are $29.99, so just $30. There's a vibranium package, there's the lime, there's sunset, there's the black, red, or so red and black. That's the one we're going to use today. And then there is the blue and gold. So those are the ones that are there. And when you purchase them, you will be prompted to create a login, and that login will take you to this page. This will be one of the pages, one of the areas you'll have access to on my site, and you will then be able to just go ahead and download these graphics packages. Click here and open this up, and you have countdown, you have all these different graphics that you can pull down from this site. Now, that is the process that you'll have to go through, regardless of what you want to use. If you're using my site, if you're using one of the others that we showed earlier, pull those down, upload them into Canva so that you can now start the process of customizing them. So here you're seeing that I have all of them uploaded into Canva along with my church logo and some other stuff that I think I'll need for our design. The beautiful thing is that this is like having a base to work from, right? Somebody has already built the foundation, somebody's already designed the house. You're just simply personalizing it, making it yours. You ever been into a neighborhood where there is several different model houses that you can buy from? Well, no two model houses are going to be the same because the owners of the house are going to put their special touch on it. And that's what we're doing here by customizing these graphics packages. So right here we have the base, which is the background, the background graphic. And what I'm going to do right on the top is to put the logo in the middle. And I love Canva because it has that center line that I can use. And there it is right there. So I'm going to make this a bit smaller. definitely want to have this prominently placed, but I don't want it to be overbearing. So that top line right there, I want it to be about right there. And I'm putting this here, and it's going to be something that I can copy and paste onto some of the other graphics as we go along. So that's there. The next thing I want to do is get some text. So I hit the T button to get some text, and our church service is called Virtual Church. So we'll get that typed in there. And I'm going to make that, do some effects here. Want to make that capital. Want to make that italics, and then we're going to select open sans for this text. Open sans with bolds, we're going to select for this text. So that's what we're going to have here, Virtual Church. We're going to put that somewhere in the bottom here, but we're going to group it all together. So make it a little bit bigger, but that's what we want next to that. Next to that, I'm going to put the Facebook logo. And now here a little bit. See how it kind of grabs that center line. Hope you can see that. Boom, there's that center line there. And then we'll do the YouTube logo as well. Size that down some. Trying to center that on the other one. Definitely wanted to match size. To be a little closer. All right, so we have those two there now. Next thing I want to do is get another text line, just hit T, and I want to put my church website here. So great. cc.com, and for that, for the website, I'm going to use different text. Take off the italics. Let's make that Montserrat classic. Make it a little smaller. Drop it right there. Like our Facebook logo. I need to make that a little bit smaller. This is, if anybody has done any designing before, this is the crux of the work. It is just fine tuning and getting everything where you want it. I still want these two to be up a little bit higher.
Get 12 months of your whitest smile with a money-back guarantee. Try Crest.
When impossible odor gets stuck in, Downy can rinse it out in one wash.
It does smell a lot better.
Nothing's thick.
On it. Staple kids.
You got a cough
Got it.
and a sore throat.
Got it.
Plus a fever.
Got it.
And Jimmy Green.
You got that too.
Dayquil Kids plus fever. It takes on coughing, sore throat, fever just for kids medicine.
Introducing Subway's new Sub Club. Now members get every 4 foot long free. 4 foot long's free. Fix my 50 long later.
4-foot-long spray. Protect the fabric sale bright save.
Join Sub Club and get every 4 foot long free.
Kindle is a game changer for anyone who wants to sell print on demand or is already selling print on demand. It literally makes designing 10 times easier. It's easy to use and has tons of tools to help beginners make professional looking designs. Whether you've never made a graphic design before or you've been designing for years, Kindle makes it easy to bring your visions to life. With thousands of templates, a variety of fonts, different text effects, AI capabilities, infinite canvas, everything you need to design is at your fingertips. So if you're serious about creating print-on-demand designs, look no further than Kindle.
Sometimes it's easier to use your keyboard to set that up. So now we have these. The idea is to highlight all of them and group them. So now that I have them grouped, I can put it right here in the corner. For the most part, I think this is basically how I want this design to look for my graphics package. I've got my logo, I've got the name of our service, I've got the website, I've got Facebook and YouTube on there. So this is how I want this to look. Let's add a page. And for this page, I'm going to do first. So sometimes you can pull it on by clicking it, but other times you just want to pull it on by making sure it takes over the whole thing. This area in the middle is going to be transparent. So that's where the person who's on screen will see. So we want to, again, do something similar, but since there's no space for the logo at the top, let's go ahead and pull that on here, bring it at the bottom. That's the bridge right there. So we have the bridge there, and we'll come here, we'll copy this, copy that, paste it here, and maybe just make it a little smaller, get in the corner. That's what the beauty of setting it up one time and not having to worry about it again. And so yeah, we have that situated. And if you want, you can put the logo in the bottom right and then put the virtual first thing here. It doesn't matter. There's not a wrong way. But I do like to make it centered. So I think here it is centered. And so that one is done as well. Let's add another page. Here, we're going to do some of our other graphics. These all come in the package. So again, I'm gonna just grab these, copy them, come down here. And now we have that customized. Going through here again, live streaming or starts in. Oh, let's do this one. Thank you for watching. All right. Boom. Paste that. Again, we're customizing them. We want to make sure that people know, hey, this is our church. And I'm using my church's logo and their color scheme because I think it works well with the red and black. You want to select a graphics package that works well with your logo, with your colors, or with your brand. So we've got those there. Those are looking good. So far, so good. Let's go ahead and add our two-shot. Two-shot. Boom. Look at that. Works for the two-shot as well. Let's go ahead and add. You're seeing that this is rapid now. Moving a lot quicker than we were earlier because the main work was done in the initial design. I'm going to paste that. Now, this doesn't necessarily work. What I'm going to do is just put this to the side a little bit, bring my logo down here, and pull this up some, and we'll just have that sit to the side like that. So again, we're just designing based on what we have available. Let's do our 4-shot. Here is our 4-shot. And we have a circle in the middle that I think we can use for our logo. So we're going to paste here again. This time, probably going to delete this. And we're going to try and fit this into the middle. It's going to be tiny, but it still kind of adds a little bit of customization. I love this 4-shot design because it is specifically designed for the person who purchased it to be able to put their logo inside. So really cool setup here. Definitely something that we want to take advantage of. So that's how that's going to look. We don't have anything else on the screen, but it still feels like this is something custom that was made specifically for this entity. Let's keep going here. We're moving really good. Let's do our 5-shot. Here we go. B again. That works perfectly. Let's do it again. Let's do our 6-shot. And that's all the graphics that this thing comes with. The only other thing that we want to do here is to upload our transparent lower third. And again, you want to make sure that literally all that white space on the screen is transparent. So that's all there. That's cool. And now what we want to do is go ahead and hit Control V again. It's just going to put all the stuff on the screen for us, but not necessarily where we're going to use it. I'm going to pull our logo into this part right here. I think that is a great place for our logo to fit. I think it fits there nicely. What do you guys say? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to ungroup this one. And I'm going to actually get rid of the virtual church. I think that we are going to just use the bridgefcc.com here. I'll make it a little smaller. But even as we make it smaller, I want to make the text line spacing look bigger. So we have that there. Designing sometimes is not an exact science, so I just fast forward that a little bit because I don't want to make this video 40 minutes, but you can see what we have here now. I'm going to hit T again. This time we're going to use Code Pro. We're going to make some changes to this text. We do want to make that upper lowercase. We don't want it bold or italic. And GoPro. And again, there's no right or wrong here. I like to use GoPro for my actual. It's going to be on the show. Let's make that a little smaller. I'll make that a little big. You want to design it. You have to come in and make a change for somebody whose name is pretty long. So we want to design it for that. And of course, we want to change this to white. So let's change that to white. And let's there. Boom, that's in the middle. That's how that lower third will look. And that's the last of our items that we need to look at here in the system. Next thing we want to do is export these items as transparent items. So one thing I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to move this one down below here. So these one, we want to name them as well, right? So let's get this going background. Start background. Then we have this. This is our screen. You can name them however you want. Thanks. This is our one person overlay, right? One person. All right. So and you can use it with a prop one as well. This is two. Camera overlay. The reason why I'm doing this because when you download them from Canva, its name that you're putting in the description as the file name. So you definitely want to do that. And then here, because this is specific, you have to change this name every time you have a show. So I'm actually going to put Kirk LT over third. So those are all the ones. The thing that you want to do now is going to download the first three. Going to download them as you can leave them as PNGs, but you don't need them to be transparent. So we're going to uncheck this one. On the background, the BRB screen, thanks for watching screen. All three of those, we want to download those as PNGs, but they don't necessarily need to be transparent. So we're done here, and we say download. That's going to kick off that download. It's going to put those into a zip file. You'll have to extract that zip file to be able to pull out those three files from that zip file. Click download again. We want to go here. I usually check and then uncheck to get rid of everything. And then what we want really, actually it's probably easier to check it and then uncheck the background, the BRB screen. Thanks for watching. All the others, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 person overlays plus Kirk LT, want those to be transparent. So we simply select transparent background and we say download. And so next thing I'm going to do right here is to take those files, unzip them, upload them into StreamYard as our example. But these files will work in Ecamm, in Restream, in several of the other platforms that are out there because they're all sized the same and the dimensions work for where the cameras will sit on the screen. So let's look at that in StreamYard. So here we are in StreamYard, and I've uploaded a couple of the ones that we did already, but I'm going to show you uploading them at uploading some of the final ones that we have left here. And the ones that I have left are the thanks for watching, the BRB screen, and the background. So the background I don't need here. I need to upload that into a different section. We're uploading into the overlays right now. Thanks for watching, and be right back screen. And I wanted to show you also that you can do multiple at a time, which does make it very easy. So while that's uploading, I'm actually going to go here and upload the background. Background uploaded. Well, one of the things that I want to say here is it's the reason why we design in the way that we do to be able to cover over the logo and the church name and all that stuff in the same way it has been designed in here. So it almost looks like I really haven't done anything, just added the thank you for watching, but really putting a full overlay on top of the background. Here again, you can see the same thing. Similar for even like our 2 graphic, see that kind of shifts a little bit, but that is how it will look for you as well when you're doing your designs. I've got 2 cameras in the system here. I'm going to add them both to the screen. And And so here you have it cropped. We could use the cropped overlay, and you can see how that looks. Or we can change this to the two shot. And we can use this two graphic overlay. You can see how that looks. And again, this is giving you that nice clean design of how you want it to look when you're in the system. If I go to a single layout, I could use the one camera. I could use that one person overlay. But since I already have one specific for me, I'm going to use that one, right? This is the transparent overlay that we did a second ago with the Bridge logo, my name, Facebook, YouTube, and bridgefcc.com. And that is all of our designs in a nutshell. I'm excited about sharing this with you, not only because we have graphics packages on our site, but also because this can be a method for you to be able to customize your stream graphics to make them work for your brand. In the beginning of our video, we spoke about two terms, generic and custom. There's a third we must consider as well, which is the standard. When something is the standard, it signals a rule by which everything else is measured. Having custom graphics needs to become your standard, as it is one of the most basic steps in branding. Let me know in the comments below, what are some of the live stream standards that you adhere to, right? Who do you look for? I have a few, but one that has influenced my live show design is a guy named Quan59, and his YouTube channel is Gorilla Ross. I'm going to leave that in the description, so you can check him out too. Over the next few months, we'll develop 4 to 5 new playlists on the channel here, and their focus areas are audience, business, authority, video, and remote production. Each one will share how live streaming can be used to have major impact. Be sure to subscribe so you can take this journey with us. As always, it's your boy Kirk Nugent, the Keep Speaking Preacher. Hoping that somewhere in the video today, we got you a little closer to figuring out how it all works. We'll see you in the next video.
I get it. It's hard to change. Me, I'm pretty loyal. Been on the same team for 17 years. Same coach for 11. Never switched my number once. Start every warm-up with a pass from the same guy. So, Curtis, I shoot from the same spot every time. So you can imagine how good something has to be for me to change.
Can't beat it, can't beat it, can't beat it, can't beat it with the big band, yo, come on. Don't make it look easy. Don't make it look good.
What's up, fans? Support our appreciate it. Got a new series, and it's called You Requested It. Yes, you requested it. So excited to be able to embark on this. And in this first installment of the You Requested It series, we're going to be looking at Ecamm designs in Canva. All of these different scenes that I have done and you have been after me for, I am going to show you how to build them in Canva and then set them up in Ecamm. So without any further ado, let's figure out how it works. I'm Kirk Nugent, and I teach small businesses, entrepreneurs, and faith-based entities how to simplify live video mechanics so they can shine a floodlight on their brand. In this video, we are looking at Ecamm designs in Canva, Ecamm scene designs in Canva. Let's get after it. So here we are in Canva, looking at basically all my designs. I'm going to build out the design from scratch. So first thing you want to do is create a design. I will go to custom size. You can go to several different things here. Video has the right size, but then it's going to have some video functions and features there. So I go to custom size and then go to 1920 by 1080. So that gives me the right size canvas for video. So you design your scenes, of course, for video. So 1920 by 1080 is where we are. Then the first thing I want to do, depending on what I'm going to do with the picture, what I'm going to do with the scene, I may not want white, but in this case, it doesn't really matter because I don't think I'm going to make anything transparent. I'm not going to turn down the opacity. So first thing I want to do is photos. Now, you can just pick whatever you want, but everybody's been asking me about this laptop photo. Where did you get that laptop thing? Where did you get that laptop? So you can just, search in photos for a MacBook, or you can search in there for a mug. But if I go to see all of my recent ones, you're going to see this one right here is the one that you've probably been seeing for a very long time. In fact, this is the one that you're watching right now in the scene that we're using to record this video. And so there's a set of books on the side, and you're saying, hey, that doesn't look like the scene. It's exactly the scene. It's just that I have pushed in a little bit. So you got to think about this for a second. This square is very small, and I want you to be able to see prominently what's on my screen. So I want that to be bigger than pretty much anything else. So what I ended up having to do is drag this out a ways, and cut that side. That's about where it is right there. That side of the desk, and then kind of pull this out as well, so that we just have the cup cut off there as well. So that pretty much it gives me the same scene that we're looking at right now. And so then all I did was to basically frame out this section on the screen and put a block here for us to be able to see my video. So let's do that real quick as well. So we go up here to elements, grab a square. We're gonna try and size this as best we can to take up the white space on the laptop screen. That looks perfect. So now we just want to put a frame on that screen. One of the things that it's probably good to do, and I usually do this, I'll make sure that I do this with you guys as well, is just pick a green color for the base, whatever you're going to cut out. So we're gonna go into Finder. Sorry, we're going to go into Preview after we export this scene out, and we're going to be able to use that to cut out this green section. So because we're going to do that with Preview, I'm going to put a border around green. I think that looks really accurate, but I do want that. So now we have that there, good to go. Now, one block. This square that I'm doing now is the one that is for me. Get right above the cup, right here, right in the corner. Same deal, same idea, same thing that applies here. Make this green, make this white. Over here, I want this to be a bit smaller. So pull that down. There, there, and we are good. Left to do. Stickler for being somewhat, symmetric. So I'm going to make sure I put this right above the cup and have it lined up properly. The only other thing now to do is just copy my logo and social images onto the scene, and this scene is pretty much done. So there you have my logo and my social media platforms on here. I'm just going to put howitworks.com, youtube.com/KirkCarnelian. Both of them are on here. And now you're seeing the exact same scene that we've rebuilt. Over here to the actual scenes themselves, and you kind of get a chance to see where all of them are. Here's one here. Here's the iPad scene. And again, has that frame around the green inside. This is where my video sits. This is the one that I created. Same scene. I just basically chopped this in half so that I could have myself and a guest plus the laptop screen. So we have that there. This is another one that I used during the midweek huddle. So you kind of had to get a feel for what that looks like. But it's the same concept across the board. I just basically build them out the same way I've done in this one. Grab a picture, an image. Look, let's add another page here. Let's go back to photos. Let's go to the recent images, and you can see there's a ton of them here. I mean, you can use any one of these to create your scene, whatever way you want. The best thing to do here is to kind of explore, just have at it, right? There's not necessarily a wrong way, as long as you can get them into Ecamm and be able to put your videos behind them. Which is what we're going to do after we show you the hack to be able to make those green parts transparent using preview. Let's do that right now.
Love, experiment, review. Welcome to Affinity.
Febreze. Love your plugins, but wish you had more scent control? Meet the Febreze Plug Scent Booster. Enjoy the same 50 days of continuous scents for Febreze Plug, including a cord for flexible placement options and a boost button for extra scent. Febreze Plug Scent Booster.
Undo your flu symptoms with NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever, best sleep and flu medicine.
Hey, Meta, play gorgeous.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Unfortunately, I didn't check if doing the Georgia market, my boss. We felt very dogs. Yeah.
So we need
Sick. Well, at least I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds.
So here we are on my desktop, and I've downloaded that design. Just downloaded it. Didn't make it transparent or anything like that. I just downloaded the design. And we didn't even name it, so it's actually called Untitled Design. So I'm going to open that up right now. So that opens up on screen. You can see that here now. First thing to do is go to View, the View menu, then go to Show Markup Toolbar. You can Command Shift A, or you can come here and do it like this. Once you have that, you want to click on the second icon on your toolbar, which is called Instant Alpha. Click that, and once that's there, we just click and drag slightly in the green area, because that's the area you want to cut out. Once you have that little centipede looking line going around the green square, you want to hit that delete key on your keyboard, and that cuts that part out, makes it transparent. Same thing we want to do here for the laptop. Boom, cut that part out, makes it transparent, and we're pretty much good to go. The last thing you want to do is save it. So you want to go to File and go ahead and click on Save. So now we have this scene already saved, ready to go. So now, how do we import it into Ecamm? I'm going to show you that right now. Here we are on my desktop, and we are ready to go. I'm in Live. Here is the design that we just created. And so what we're going to do now is create a new scene. So hit this plus sign in the scenes window. That allows me to create a new scene. I'm still over here on the right. So we got a new scene here. And I'm just going to go ahead and drag these Untitled Design into the scene. There that goes. It's here. It's right size. So just go ahead and lock that. I like to make sure I lock that. Camera overlay. Change this to the camera that you want it to be. Just gonna drag it to the side here. Did not know and Tilda to get rid of some of the stuff on screen to make it a little easier for you to design and do the things you need to do in Ecamm. I love that they give us that feature. Once you have this thing, right, you always want to make sure it's a little bit bigger than your white space, and then just drag the scene itself, the design, above your camera, right? So you can see that I'm in the shot now, just the way that we always have it. Next thing we want to do is add another camera. And here, again, it's custom. And I'm going to change this to my desktop. So here's the desktop. Same thing, really work. I'm going to try to in this instance, you kind of want, especially because you're showing your screen, you don't want it to be custom. You want it to be wide, 60 by 9, so that you kind of keep that aspect ratio the way that it's supposed to be. And so, kind of pull that out there. Not cooperating with me, but you just kind of have to keep on sizing until you get it where you want it to be. So that's almost there, almost there, and something like that is going to do it. Slow it down a little bit, and we lock that link as well, and then drag the design up above, and then there you have teams all designed um, in use in eCam, and we would do the same thing for any of the other designs that you want to do. So there you have it. You requested it. You asked for this. You were saying, "Hey, Kurt, how are you using this laptop?" See, in fact, somebody even said, "Hey, can I get one created for me that has my logo on it?" I was like, "Sure." And yeah, listen, guys, if you want this kind of stuff done for you, this is what we do at a composition company that my wife and I run. We do full live stream packages for clients. We do remote production for clients. So you want to take a look at kirkharnregion.com. It is a new website. It has all of our services there, the coaching, the live video strategy, remote production, and some speaking too. But definitely we're proud of that space that we've created and proud of this community that is behind us, 5,000%. So hopefully something we shared here today in this request video was helpful for you. Hopefully it hit home and you're like, good, cool, now I know how to do that. Some of the stuff is refreshers, it's kind of amalgamation. We just pulled tips that we've shown in different other videos, but I just kind of put it all together in this one for you guys to be able to see what we do to create those seeds. I'm hoping that this was useful for you, hoping that you got some value from it. And I would love for you to tag me in the designs that you create using this method. So as we close it out here, man, listen, we're still on our journey, right? We're in the middle of the summer at this point, coming into July. We want to make sure that we are moving towards our goal to reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. Really hoping that you guys can help us with that. Share these videos, continue to watch the content. We've got playlists. Go ahead and watch those playlists. There's maybe something that you missed along the way and some other hack or whatever. And listen, if you've got ideas for videos, let us know in the comments because I constantly write those down. Sometimes we'll put it in this series, the you requested it series, but other times to just make it into our general series for strength conversation, you can and others. But man, we're excited about you. We're excited about this space. We're excited about how it all works. Hoping that you take this journey with us and subscribe, smash that bell so you're notified when we go live and when we upload new content. Also, hit that like button on our videos. It really helps. It helps with the algorithm. It helps to elevate our videos and make it into the suggested list for other people as they're watching content on the platform. Listen, it's your boy Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Pre-Show. Hoping that somewhere in the video today, somewhere while we showed off how to create these scenes that you have been requesting, that you were able to figure out how it all works. Oh man, so excited about this space. I'm excited about you. Waiting to hear from you in the comments, and I will see you next video. You ever read history that pretend people look at changed us?
Introducing Subway's new Sub Club. Now members get every 4 foot long free. 4 foot long free. Fix my thing a little later.
4 foot long straight. Protect the fabric, sale, freight, save.
Join Sub Club and get every 4 foot long free.
Nature-made magnesium is made to care for your heart, thoughts, and muscles.
What's a fan somewhere? Take a look. Everything I do set up virtual speaking is one of the ways you use live video to really to really establish yourself as a specific space. Being able to show up in those spaces, not being talked about, is a toolbox that you want to get time to time. So, you want to figure out all those things. Stick with us, and let's figure out. I'm for small businesses, big spaces. I've seen a lot of headaches, so they can shine a light on their brand. This video we're going to be looking at everything we're going to do to start off. Let's take a look at it right now. So I put together my notes, put together my thoughts. I know this is not technical, it's not live video related, but I put them together. Good. Help me setting up the presentation, which is going to do this in Canva. But I put them together, put them on paper. Sometimes I'm very verbose. As you can see, this is 2,292 words here. And then sometimes I'm really just putting together an outline, so I know exactly what I need to write on paper to be able to recall a specific story that I want to share or make a specific point. So I just put down, the breadcrumbs that will allow me to get to my home base. But I treat my public speaking the same way I treat my live streams. Just like you on one sheet, I have basically an outline for my speaking, for the topic that I'm going to be speaking on, and for the entire presentation. I want to, as I said before, one sheet is your GPS for your live show. Well, my outline for my speaking is my GPS. It allows me to navigate the entire audience to the desired destination. So that's what I do first. And the reason why I'm showing this to you is you got to know what you want to put on the screen. What graphics, what do you want people to see, walk away with? Most of the time I try to be not to put too much text on the screen. This is a whole presenter's rule that I generally follow, but sometimes there's specific quotes. Sometimes there's something, especially in these virtual spaces, you want people to take pictures, questions that you want to really drive home, specific thoughts that you want on screen so that they can still read it over and over, even as you're driving that point, story or something else. So I start with my notes, and then I move to the design of the presentation, and I move all my presentations. So this particular presentation is all of the paradox of purpose. I did it for a fellowship. It was a couple Friday nights ago. Whenever you're watching this video, a couple of Friday nights ago. But the point being, I try to, of course, mimic their brand, if you will. I find that have a little bit of a touch. Maybe the logo from the organization I'm speaking for goes a very long way. It's like, okay, this person is, a part of this. And as a public speaker, you want your event organizer to recognize it. You're not just there like a check. You're not just there to get glory. You're really part of the team. Try to drive a point, and visually, you want to hear. Like this is my space. You just are waiting for a specific time to drive to a specific point. So this is what I've done with the design. You see that I've used their logo here. I put the name of the entity across the back. So I have it in the background. I made sure to grab the colors from the logo to design that there. And then I just put my title here. Now, when you're looking at this, you're wondering, why is it one-sided? Well, you can see that same space in all of us. There's questions. Why is both of us? What can I do to discover my purpose? Mission statement, man. I'll put the link to the video where I made this presentation. in the description so you can see that. But you know, here's my guys invite us to find purpose where our lives and call to percent. One is equal letter. I want myself to my videos be on the other side and get a smaller view. This is my entire presentation. And what I do, so two different things here that I want to make note of. One is I used to actually come through here, click on download, leave them as PNG, and then download the entire thing. So zip up all the files and download it, and I'll extract that, and I would just put them into, you can scene by scene. So here there are 10 slides, so I have 10 scenes. And for the most part, that was easy. But I have learned that I was, even as easy as that was, I was literally doing it the wrong way. So what I do now, I come here to download. I change this to PDF. And then I download everything except for the last two scenes, which I'll make sense in a second. And that gives me my 11 slides, 11 slides question slide, and I have the entire PDF. I would click download. So that is what you would do. Design your presentation in Canva. You can use the free version. You can use the paid version. Just gives you a little more options, especially for your presentations. They've got some great templates. Just make sure that there's a space in the template on this scene, on this screen, where you can place your video. So let me scroll down here to the bottom. You're seeing that this screen here is a transparent overlay. I'm going to show that to you in a second. All I've got is my signature here, person just speaks, and the world there. So I put this on the full screen picture of me whenever I'm presenting. When I come back to a full screen, this is what is on the screen. I want to make sure that they can visibly see, like, oh, this is how I find this guy. This is how I follow this guy. Then here, what I've done is create a little bit of an outline and a frame, which I will then take the green part off of it, use a Finder, and use that as my video. Let's take a look at Ecamm, where I've had some of this stuff set up right now. So we're here in Ecamm. I've got preview mode on, so I will stay this bottom box and see the changes happen up here. Here you're seeing on the screen, I'm gonna just turn off this PNG here, and you see that goes away as soon as I turn it off. So that is the overlay. So see, I'm taking that off. But this is how I want to start things out. And so I'm going to give you an example of what we did, what I did in the old way, right? So here's one of the screens. You can see, I've still got Canva up over here. I can put my notes on it, but this is how I did for one of the presentations for Alleghany's conference. I put the logo here on the bottom of the back. And then you can see here, scene by scene, here, technology is not the main point. So these were the things that I would share with that presentation. And they allowed me to expound on it and share a little bit more information relevant to the audience. But you can see that I'm actually having to go scene by scene. And I use my Stream Deck to be able to transition from one scene to the next. So it wasn't hard to, but it's just that it created a lot of scenes. And that wasn't necessarily the best way to do that. But here you're seeing where it says presentation and presentation two. Here, these are actually PDFs. You can see that we're on page 210. What I learned is I put this on presentation this way. I can move through my presentation, even using the Stream Deck. You can actually set your Stream Deck to do. So you're seeing right here on the screen these two buttons here have added from the Ecamm menu in the Stream Deck. You're seeing that on the screen. We can here like this drag over here, and I've got these two my Stream Deck already ready for my PDF. So now I can just create one scene and then toggle through PDF as opposed to doing multiple scenes for every slide. So I was doing the wrong way. I'm going to get into some of the second here. I want to go back up to presentation. So this was the presentation that I have. You can see here this presentation document. Right, so if I hide that, see that. If I hide the frame, see that literally just my video. So if I unlock it, this is all that's here on the frame. Okay. So that's what's on the scene is a frame. So you start the scene by so okay, with the PDF on the screen. So here's the PDF, and make sure that your screen deck is working. So I always lock the PDF. I have it to the right size. So the next thing that I did was there it is. And then the next thing I did was add the frame that you saw. I add that there. And that again on that their logo. I use that same red to frame it on my. So now I'm in this way. I can talk through my presentation. And it is seamless. It is seamless. I had several people reach out to me saying, hey, hold on, what are you doing? How are you doing this? This is so cool. The last thing I want to show you, however, is how do you get your sound in? So this is Ecamm. We're using virtual camera. Of course, here we are. Go to output. Output. Here we go. Virtual cam. My virtual camera is on. And anytime you're on your screen, you see this camera here. You know that this virtual camera is on. So all you need to do in any one of these applications is select that so that I'm going into the application with the virtual camera. Also, that's say, let's take a look at how it sounded using loopback. First thing you want to do, however, is to set your output from Ecamm. So all your monitor, set it to the microphone created in loopback. So this is the microphone that I created in loopback. It's called Ecamm out. This is what you would need to set up. We can look at that right now. So here we are in loopback. I've got a couple of microphones in here already set up. But you can see that Ecamm out is essentially just a pass-through microphone. There are no other sources in this mic. What that pass-through does is it takes the audio that it's receiving and sends it on to whoever's on the other side. It literally sits as a band. So you can actually set this up as a destination, as a set of speakers, if you will. That helps you. You can go into an application and say, where do you want to hear this? Where do you want this output to be? You send it to this particular appliance, virtual appliance. In my case, I think that you can out. And then from there, I can actually go into my other application. Let's say I'm doing a presentation in Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or in StreamYard, like live streaming somewhere. I can then select my microphone in that platform to be Ecamm out as well. So both the destination from Ecamm and the source for wherever you're presenting need to be Ecamm out. So just real quick, let's go back to Ecamm to look at that setting. So now we're here to output, go to audio monitor, and I'm setting it to Ecamm out. Here we are back in my desktop looking at Google Chrome, and we're looking at StreamYard. I have turned off the camera because I don't want that infinity effect to happen. But if I click on Cam Mic here, I can select Ecamm Live Virtual Camera as my camera, and that will take my entire presentation, everything you're seeing on screen right now, or what we set up prior, and take that into the destination where I'm presenting. But I want to make sure that our audio is set right. And so in order to do that, I've got Ecamm out virtual. So that is what my audio is set to, and that is what the audio is coming out of Ecamm into this system. So you set it as a microphone in your destination, but you set it as your speakers or your destination source for Ecamm itself. Hope that's clear. Let me know if it's in the comments if it's not, so I can run through that thing again. Got a couple other videos where I go over that in greater detail, but this is the process and it works great. So there you have it. We looked at my notes. We looked at the design of the presentation in Canva. We looked in Ecamm how to stack in one scene for the presentation, right? The most efficient way. And to be clear, if you don't have a screen deck to be able to advance from one page to the other for your PDF, you can use the keyboard. The arrows on your keyboard work just as well. You got to make sure that your mouse is clicked in on to be able to advance to the next page. It works. I didn't always have the screen deck, but if you do have the screen deck, I did show you that PDF next, PDF last, previous next, those are all there as options under the ECAD set of options in the screen deck software. So just program your screen deck to have those on there. Then you don't have to worry about where your mouse is or what the keywords do. You can advance that slide with the button on your screen deck. Then we went and looked at how to put this into specific platforms. Now I showed it in StreamYard, but the same thing would be true of Zoom, same thing would be true of Teams, same thing would be true of any other application, virtual applications, meeting space that you're going to go into to make your presentations. And that's it. The things that I did not talk about is how to present your camera, making sure that your presentation has things in it that are really markers of use for you, to you as the speaker. It's something that is representative for your audience, but you've got to have things in your presentation that trigger something in your mind that allows you to bring up things that you know you want to include in your presentation. For live video strategy has to include public speaking, has to include working with different groups as a thought leader, as an authority figure in the space. Whatever expertise, whatever you're using live video to do, that's just the mechanism. This is just the tool, right? Your voice, your message, your expertise, that is not up for question. And we're showing you on this channel how it works is how we can utilize these tools, utilize these spaces, these platforms to best put your message out there and create a community around your specific flavor of expertise. And I'm hoping that that's clear. I hope that you got some value from this video. Even if you're not a public speaker, even if you just want to go live by yourself and share a specific presentation, specific thought, walk people methodically through a process and allow them to have that aha moment in the midst of your presentation. This is one of the ways you can do that using Ecamm to visually knock their socks off and have a much more engaging experience for everybody involved with the meeting. Well, that's it. Said a whole mouthful there. It's your boy Kirk Nugent, Geek Speaker Preacher. I'm gonna somewhere in the video today, actually getting closer to figuring out how it all works. If you haven't already, hope that you subscribe. Mondays, 7 p.m. Combos and collabs. Wednesdays, 12:30 p.m. Big Cup. Fridays, virtual cafe. Sometimes 10, sometimes a little later. Maybe it goes long, but always packed, valuable. Listen. So excited that you're here. So excited that you're with us for the long haul. See you. Let's do it.
You make magnesium is meant to care for your whole body every day. With Ralph's same-day pickup and delivery, you can shop the same in-store prices and have your groceries brought right to you. So you can spend time on what matters most. Ralph's, SoCal for over 150 years.
What's up, fam? It's your boy Kirk, and we're back with another video. We're gonna look at a couple of features in Canva that every content creator needs to know. I'm gonna cover three in particular, but each one of those three have some sub-points that I'll touch on as well. So, let's figure out. teach entrepreneurs and small businesses think these things, how to simplify live video mechanics, shine a floodlight on their brand. And in this video, we're looking at 3 features of Canva that every content creator needs to know. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. So, Canva has put out a number of updates over the last couple of weeks, last months. I guess Q1 2021 is really the term. They changed the look and feel here on the homepage. You have for you presentation, social media, video, print products, marketing, office, all this stuff. But what I want to show you here right off the bat is the content planner. Content planner. If you come here to the side, right underneath recommended for you, you see content planner. It gives you this calendar view. It's right here. It's not hidden. It's actually right on the front page, right on your dashboard, if you will. And if you get any one of these plus signs on any one of these days, let's say the 15th of next week, so hit 15th, and I can grab a graphic and I can schedule it to go to Facebook, Twitter, a group. I can schedule it to go to Pinterest. I can schedule it to go to LinkedIn profile or a page. I can schedule it to go to Slack or Tumblr. All of these are here. So I click on the Facebook page, I have to connect it, and you basically walk through those steps. I have not done this. I actually use a program called Sociamonials for my social media posting. But this is a really great feature because I do all my designs in Canada. So having the ability to actually schedule them straight from here is really good, really convenient. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a game changer, but I definitely feel like this is something that content creators need to be aware of. That Canva has built into it a way for you to post directly to your social media sites. So definitely want to make sure you keep that in mind as well. So the second feature that I want to show you is just some utilities, some shortcuts that you can use in your design as you're using Canva as a content creator. Some of them are shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts. Some of them are new features. And the first two that I'm going to show you is line, curve text. Those are new features that Canva has put in here. So in order to do a line, you just hit the L key. Boom, there's a line on your screen, right? I think the L key, the line comes on the screen. You can see it at the top. I can change the color. That you're familiar with. If you've been using Canva, you know that this little block here changes the color for whatever it is you have selected. But you get a few other options here with your line weight. Line weight, I can change the size of that. I can change it to a dotted line, slightly more dotted line, depending on what you're looking for. You can also change the look and feel of the line to make it like an arrow or something like that. Different things, different options that you have here with lines. These really handy, especially if you're trying to build a frame around something, trying to call out something in your design. There's so many different ways that you can use this line feature. So that is line. Curve text. The other keyboard shortcut I'm going to show you right now. Hit the T button. It gives you some text. These are just easy little things that you want to know and do just to speed up your process as a designer, as a content creator. So here now I have this text. So I'm going to double click, triple click it, and then say we want this to be curved, right? So now I have this here. I highlight the whole thing. Just click on effects. So I click on effects. You see this option has been added. This is slightly new feature for Canva. Click on curve. You have the ability on this purple line on the left side of your screen to determine how's that curve going to look, or where do you want that curve to go? You want it upside down. And again, these can be helpful when you're actually doing a design to be able to know that this is possible and how you can integrate this into your design, whatever it is you can do. So those are 2 new features that they have added. Some shortcuts. So L gives you a line, T gives you text, a C will give you a circle, right? So here I have a circle. Just hit the C button on the keyboard, gives you a circle. An R will give you a rectangle, and again, you can color that whatever you want it to be. You can actually size it where it's actually not a rectangle. So you have some options there, and so that gives you a rectangle. And then the option button. the option button. So mine is flipped on this keyboard, so I'm always looking to see which one it is. But the option button, if I hit the option button and click on it and put it on another item, it will allow me to duplicate that item. You can see that on the screen here now. So I duplicated this item. But hit the option button and then click on another item, I can duplicate that item. So that's a really quick way to duplicate items in the system. Actually, very similar to eCam. You just hit that option button. You can do that same thing there as well. The other thing I love about Canva is if I hover my mouse over one of these items and hit the option button, it'll tell me, just what's happening on the screen, what's my spacing, is it lined up properly? So like here, I can tell one of these is not quite lined up right, stuff like that. You can hit that option button, hover over different items you have on the screen, and it'll show you, oh, here, 20 between here. So what's my distance between here? Some of those types of things that if you're, as a designer, you get into the weeds here a little bit, but this is a full-fledged design platform. I love what Canva is doing for us in this space. Now, something that's semi-new. Here's a picture of me. This is a screenshot that I took from one of my videos, one of my recent videos. I can go to effects on this picture and go to background. That's the first option on the left side of the screen. So I click on that. And so circle a little bit. Oh, there it is. It has moved the background. So cool. I can put this right up on top of that line. And you now have this quickly designed, which is cool. Another thing that you can do, and I'm going to change the background color to something slightly different so that it will make sense in the design that we're about to do. So here you still see the two lines. You see my picture. Now I'm going to select my picture, go back to effects one more time, and now you have these other options here for shadows. So we click on see all. You can see right now I have none. But then there's below the drop, there's angle, curve, lift, background. These are really cool features that Canva has added, and something you should absolutely be looking into in terms of leveling up your designs, especially for the YouTubers out there, live streamers out there who want to have a picture, clip art that really pops on the screen. You click on this glow item, you can see that glow is around my picture right now. Yes, it does make it smaller, so you have to kind of size that back to where you want it to be. But if I want to change that, just hit the little lines on the glow option. So you see that, click that, and it gives you more options. You can change the size of the glow. Before I do that, I'm actually changing the color to white. So that helps with the pop a little more on screen. I can change that size. I don't want it to be too much, but I have used this for some of my YouTube designs as well. So a couple of other features that I want you to be aware of: being able to remove the background from the image, but also being able to put a glow around that image and some of the other items that you have here as well in terms of shadows in the system. So be aware of those and take advantage of them for your design. The third thing that I want you to know about Canva and some of the options that they have in here is for presentations. I have started using Canva almost exclusively for my presentations, for my public speaking, several of the things that I'm doing, even for some courses that I'm going to be creating pretty soon. So in Canva, you can just go to create design as you do for everything else, right? Create design and go for the presentation. So I'm going to pull up one of my own presentations. I'm just going to pick one from the list here. And so here's one that I think is pretty cool. It's like a class lesson. All right, I'm just using this as a template because I want to show you a couple of things here in terms of being able to do a presentation. The first thing is if you're not aware, you have Canva Live, right? Canva Live presentation. So I'm going to actually go into presentation mode. Right? So now I'm in presentation mode. I click on this crowdsource questions from your audience with Canva Live. So this little looks like a radio button at the bottom right corner of your presentation. You click on that and you say start your session. And so here now you have 518-376 is the code for this live session. This session is actively live right now. So what I'm going to do now is slide back over to my other screen. I'm going to actually go to www.canva.live. What you see here in the URL right now, www.canva.live. Hit enter on that. It's going to ask me to put in a code. The code that I'm going to put in is this code 518-376. So let's put that in real quick. And I'm in. So there's a presentation there. It's a presentation per region. Type your name. I'm going to say it works. Actually, that's the question part. Where can I get these slides? I'm going to put my name. That's how it works. And you click send. So you see that that is there for that presentation. When I get back here, you can see how it works. This now and where can I get these slides? I can respond to them live in the system. Wow. We always want to make sure that you end your presentation, because if not, that people can continue to send questions long after you have ended. So you want to end your presentation, slip out of there, and you're good to go. Next thing that I want to show you here, also in the same vein of presentations, is the recording studio. So Canva not only has the ability to present, and you can go into several different platforms, just share that screen, share that tab as a presentation, but you can also record your presentation as a video. So you come in here, you have the actual option here, the three dots, and you see where it says present and record. So you want to click on present and record. It says record yourself while talking over a presentation, share a video link with students, friends, and colleagues. This is a really, really great feature, especially for those who put online courses, those who need to get some content out there really quickly. This is a great, great feature that they've set up here. So I'm going to say go to Recording Studio, and right away, grabbing my camera, I'm going to shift it to the FaceTime camera so that we don't have any issues there. You can see that it's already getting the audio from the microphone that I have. Yeah, and we're pretty much ready to go. For you, you're going to want to make sure you take the time to select the right camera, select the microphone that you want, make sure that you're getting good audio, and then you click start recording. So you're now actually going to click that. 3, 2, 1. Here I go. And you see there's a small window in the bottom corner, circle in the bottom corner there for the recording. So I can be talking science lessons, Cypress Teaching Academy. I move to my next slide. Welcome to class. Today's agenda. Here's what we're going to be going over. You know, write the agenda here. Da, 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 da. I'm just kind of going over the generic things that are in this presentation. Get every slide will take a specific amount. I'm going to talk over that slide. But this content recorded in online, while actually being superimposed on top of the presentation. This video can be sent as a link to someone else after the fact, or you can download it into your content. Now you can get it in your partner as your course. Click in recording. It says uploading your recording. Keep this browser window open while uploading. So this is what it's doing right now, which is great. I'm going to actually copy this link, go to a new tab, and go to that recording right now so that you can see what it looks like. And here we are. So clicking record, and you can see this here. Now you can hear it, but you can see that this is the recording. What I also want you to notice in the recording is that we have different points where I switch slides. So everywhere I switch the slide is here in the recording. So I click for the students or whoever is following after the back of our chapters on our YouTube video, go find on the timeline where each slide is. So then we've gone through 3 major areas in Canva that have some sub-items to them, and I hope that they're meaningful to you. We touched on the content planner, which allows you to push your content out online, kind of like Suite or social media. So it's really cool, especially for those of us that who are designed in Canva anyway for social media distribution. This is kind of a no-brainer, which really makes sense. This is Canada doing their best work in terms of finding these partner industries, these partner spaces that just make perfect sense for them, adding those features and tools to their platform to make it even that much more of a go-to item for content creators and people like you, people like me. So that's content planner. Then also showing you some of the keyboard shortcuts and helpful utilities that you use while you're designing. Just remember that the L gives you the line, the C gives you a circle, the R gives you a rectangle, the T gives you text. If you go to the T, then you can also curve your text as well. And then you can also do the background remover for your graphics, for your pictures. And then you can also do that glow feature allows you to put like an outline around different things for multiple different use cases, but also for YouTubers who want to have that white glow around themselves for their YouTube clip art. That piece, however, with the presentations is what, in my opinion, the piece that most people are really resonating with, because you can now record directly online without installing anything on your machine. Create your really great presentation in Canva, record your content, and make that available to people. You can download that, put it up with your sites, or you can send it to a client who's asking you to do a guest lecture. Whatever it is, you now have this option and this ability inside Canva as a tool. So hopefully that's valuable to you. I want you to let me know in the comments what you thought. I want you to give me some feedback. This is kind of outside of the whole live video thing that we normally do. But this is such a great partner platform. I use Canva every single day in my design work, in my live streaming work, in my YouTube work. So it's a go-to platform for me. It's a platform that I'm very comfortable with. I'm always poking and trying to figure out what else are they adding to the platform. Basically taking that same mindset, that same mentality that I take towards StreamYard, Ecamm, and all the others towards Canva as well. Canva is one of those utilities that just keeps on growing in terms of its relevance in your arsenal of tools in your toolbox that you can use to do multiple different things. So I wanted to make sure that you had these features and these options. I hope that it brought you some value. For those that have not subscribed already, that you would consider subscribing and taking the journey with us. We're on a mission. I said this in a while, to get to 5,000 subscribers. We're actually nearing 3,000, which is so amazing. And we're hoping that you help us to reach that goal. By not only subscribing, but sharing, liking, getting that notification bell, but also by commenting below and letting us know what other content you want to see. What other types of things are standing in your way to putting out some live video on your behalf, right? To create that platform for yourself and that community for yourself. Whatever those barriers are, this channel is a space where we want to put out content that helps you leap over those hurdles and head toward your goal. So you want your preacher, keep speaker preacher, hoping that somewhere in the video today, you guys are really close to figuring out all this. Steve.
This holiday season, you can count on Ralph's. You get up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices. Because at Ralph's, quality and low prices always come together. Ralph's, SoCal for over 150 years.
The holiday comedy from Takes a Look. You will find
Any favors other people or not?
we try. You'll fall in love with Now the Day.
Okay.
Really be connected. Footloose 3. It's my video later. A man who worked hard, sweats hard, all skies life, I sweat, goats doctor slack. So I trained with my all spies, and I became the best player ever. Sometimes a man must overcompensate. So man, it's official. I have officially moved to Ecamm for my live show. Yup, Ecamm for my live show. So all the things that you are seeing right now, I do them You want to know full production setup in this video? You saw a lot of them. Let's figure out how it all works. So all of my designs start right here in Canva. And yes, you have seen my StreamYard full production setup. Link card right here to that StreamYard full production setup. You see that I start in Canva. I start with the base design. What I'm not going to do in this video is take the time to actually walk step by step through the designs, but I want to show you the components that make up my full production. So what you see on the screen right now is the base design that I have for Canva. When I say base, I mean this is the background that I use in the scenes that you saw a second ago. So this is the background. This is the overlay for me as the host. I just export this as a transparent overlay. I can change stuff if I need to. Don't really need to. Somebody said that the font was too small, so I went through and made some tweaks. Here's the screen for myself. Kind of looks similar to this scene that I'm using right now to record this. And here's some of the questions. Again, transparent overlays. I just type these in. And if you're wondering, it's like, man, that's a lot of work. Yeah, it's about an hour of prep work for each show. Now that I have my template built, I'm actually in the process of building a new one, but I can't show you that. So here's my first guest. Here's my second guest. Here's what it looks like with all three of us on the screen. And here's what it looks like when if I would have four. So I just use this as an example. But this is my design team. And here's some basic ones. And I think I'll build a scene out with these overlays. I export these as a transparent PNG, and I actually go ahead and pull them in to Ecan and overlay in the overlay section. So I'll show that to you in a little bit. The other thing I want to show you is my outro. So my intro stays the same pretty much every week. I have an intro that is built out. No need to change it. I do edit. I do make my edits here in video, so you can see here different things that are on the timeline. Just gonna go ahead and play that through. You can see, or maybe you can even hear some of that, but you can see it's playing there on the timeline. Flyers from my shows. I'm actually working on a new outro, but one of the things I really like about this outro is it just showcases the value that we've been able to add with the live show over the whole period. So it kind of pauses at certain points to give emphasis to what we got going on in the coming weeks. And so there you have it. That's the whole thing. Save that, export it, download it to my computer, and it's ready to go for the live stream. So now we're going to jump into Ecan. We're going to look and see what things we do there. So here we are in Ecan, and I'm going to switch back to full screen of myself. There we go. So we're no longer looking at the desktop, but you can see my full screen. I have some finder with here, loop back. I really need to have loop back up, but the main things I'm going to be working with today is my scenes and my overlays, right? So I'm going to just go ahead and toggle through some of them so you can kind of get a feel. Here's the host screen. So that's an overlay. You can see this overlay here. That when I toggle it on and off, you can see that goes away. Here's the host plus slide screen. So here is where I share. This is the scene that I use to be able to show the new flyer for the month, the flyers that are upcoming. So here I'm just hiding this one, sharing this one, hiding this one, sharing this one, showcasing what's coming up, what we're doing today, and what people can expect for the entire month. So wanted to build out a scene that allows me to do this. Again, the base is still that base background. What I do when I'm building these out, I'll create a new scene, put that background on it, and duplicate it to save myself time. We're going to walk through that in just a second. The intro video is here. Drop this onto the first guest scene, and there it is. So, only thing that you got to do is when your guests come in the system, you have to assign them to guest number 1 or guest number 2 or guest number 3 or guest number 4. As I mentioned, we're gonna have to go through that. But once they're assigned, they're in the system indicator, and anywhere you have designed your scenes to have that guest will show up. So it does make life very simple. In order to do that, one quick thing here is to make sure that you have interview mode on. If you don't have interview mode on, you won't have these guest placeholders to be able to design your scenes. Somebody was asking me, like, how do you design the scene when the guest is not there? Well, you got to make sure that interview mode is on. So you got to click it and make sure interview mode is on. Even if you don't have it, as long as interview mode is on, you have that person there. So this is what happens when I turn off interview mode. See, this turns black. You want to make sure the interview mode is on. And when it is on, that it gives me that placeholder and I can design it. And once I do have a guest come in the system, I select the guest, assign it to guest 1, 2, or 3, and then they populate in the scenes. Another thing that I always do is just make sure that I go through the scenes and ensure that everything is the way that I intended it to be. So here we are back on just me on this scene here, and we're going to walk through the process of actually building out a couple of scenes, not all of them, but just a couple of them. So here's a new blank scene. And first thing I'm going to do here is grab the background. So here's the background. Just going to grab that, drag it over to the overlays, drop it. It automatically fills the whole thing, which is great. Next thing that I want to do is duplicate the scene, right? So duplicate the scene, right? I'm not even going to rename it. But you should, if you're building out your scenes, you want to make sure you rename them. I'm going to actually grab a new scene here. Grab my camera. So we're going to make this a camera scene. And then I'm going to do the host overlay. So this is the host overlay. I just drop it on there. Boom, it's there. So this is the host scene. Let's call it host. That's the host scene. Let's move that up one here. Which scene is this? Okay, this is our big scene. Let's say this is hosts plus flyer. Okay, so this is host plus flyer. So now what we need to do is grab the overlay that's cropped. I'm gonna drop that on here, and boom, look. Now we have a frame, and all I've got to do is hit this plus this camera overlay, new camera overlay. Select the video that I want. That is the video for my webcam. I'm going to select the USB camera. I'm going to change this to custom and move this over here. Get that right in the corner there. Sometimes you play tricks. And what I love is you can just pull it right in and make sure you're right in the right space, let go of it. I think that's good. And then after you have it sized properly, you want to take the overlay itself, which is the camera, and drop it underneath the frame that I just put on top of the screen. So now we have this here, it's ready to go. Only thing else that I need to do is add to the screen, let's say, flyer, right? So this is one of the flyers. So I just add this to the screen, size it so that it fits where I want it to be. And then I would go ahead and I click lock on all of these because I don't want to accidentally hit my scroll wheel or something and move that thing around. That's it. One scene is down. Host plus flyer. You got host. You got camera only. We're cooking the gas. So here you're back at the base scene here. I am going to make another copy of the scene. And so here we're going to just do one guest host plus guest. Okay. Find my host plus guest overlay here, and there it is. Uh, plus, I'm going to actually do two here and then just change them. So this one, I want this custom. Want this to be USB. All right. This one, I also want it to be custom. Want this to be guest one. Guest one. My video, we're doing the exact same thing. Making sure it's there, signed up properly. Get that there. It's here like this. Get this over. And then we just grab this host plus guest overlay, drag it up to the top. We have everything we want it, we already want it. Lock our teams and lock everything in place. Now this is set to go. I've got host plus a guest. I've got guest one. I've got my host plus my flyer. Um, if I wanted to, let's see here. Let's do. I'm just going to do host plus on this next scene. So here we are on this new scene, and so I'm going to grab host plus two guests, drop that on there, and there you see their size slightly differently. So now we need three cameras. You hit the plus sign here. I'm going to make this guest one because I know that these two are both the same size. I'm going to make this guest one. I'm going to make this custom. Size it the way that I want it.
Booking.com has all kinds of things. I'm gonna chill to stay with you. Find exactly what you're looking for. Booking.com. Booking.com. Streaming the CMA Awards on Hulu.
Now they sick.
Come on. Staple kids.
You got a cough
Got it.
and a sore throat.
Got it.
Plus a
Fever. Got it.
Jimmy Penny.
You got that too.
cool kids plus fever. It takes out coughing, sore throat, fever just for kids medicine.
Latest tech gets me new rush to spread the word.
It certainly is. 662.
Then I'm going to hit the command key, and that allows me to make another copy of this. And I can just slide that into place right here, because like I said, they're the same size, so no need to create it again. They're exactly the same size. Then all I've got to do is come down here to the overlays and change this to guest 2. Then I can add the third video in, which is going to be for myself, and it's slightly different in size, which is the reason why I didn't just copy it. So change that to the proper camera, change this to custom, and here we go. Put this in the center. Well, yeah, not in the center, but you get the point. We're trying to size it in here properly. And I'll let that go. And now we just grab host plus 2 guests, which is the overlay, drag it to the top, ready to go. Here's one of the things that I like to do, like you've seen in my Canva design, is the questions are there. The questions come in at this area here. So I will literally just come through here, highlight all 3 of these questions, drag them onto the drag them onto the overlays page, let them go, all 3 come in, then I make them in the order that I want. So this is question 1. I want question 1 on the bottom. So what I do is they're on top of one another. Each one is a layer. So if I unhide the question 1, if I unhide question 2 is above question 1. So I don't have to go back and hide question 1. So I want them in that layer so that I can easily go through. And so there I have my questions and I can take them back off screen in the same order by doing it like that. Or you can show one question, take it off, show some comments or whatever else. But this is how this is going to look, and this is the effect that we're going for. The other things that we would need to add, as I mentioned before, obviously we got the intro video. So here I'm gonna just say intro, and we click the video button here. And that's not all what I wanted to do. We click the video. I didn't want to click the camera button. I click the video button. So I'm gonna choose file HIW show intro. Boom. So for outro. All right. So outro. Drag this down. Same thing. The video button. Outro. Bam. That's what we do for both of those, and we should be good to go, which is good. I know that there are some pieces of both of those videos where you weren't able to hear me. So let me just go over this really quickly. For the video scenes, you're going to want to go through and change the option to either go to next scene or go to, let's say, end the broadcast. So for the outro scene, I set it to end the broadcast, and for the intro scene, I just set it to go to the next scene. So these are the scenes, and this is the whole thing. So now I've got my intro, I've got my host scene, which is the one I'm on now. I've got the next one where I've got the flyer. I can go to the next one where I've got myself with a guest. And that's guest one. I've got the next one where I've got both guest one and two, and I'm in the middle. But we have all of those there now, and we are good to go. So there you have it. I run through my run sheet, essentially. I have several things that I do throughout the show in terms of a show question, two questions for each guest. Generally, try to keep it to two guests. I've got my scenes designed. I've got my questions already in there. I'm using Elgato Stream Deck to be able to move seamlessly between the scenes, so I don't have to look away from the camera. Well, comments come in very nice. The design of them in Ecamm is you have full control over anything you want to do. I can put them anywhere on the screen, but I have my design of the layout. I have in the bottom section a place that I can actually put those comments, and they, it's a place where not only I can see it prominently, but the guests can see it, and anybody who's watching, whether they're watching live or watching the replay, they can see those comments as well. So Ecamm really just kind of gives me a lot more flexibility, a lot more options. Yes, the learning curve is higher, but I wanted to be able to get this video out there. You now have both my full production set up for StreamYard and my full production set up for Ecamm. I would love to hear from you what you think. Honestly, some of these designs are interchangeable. You can use a lot of them in StreamYard as well. You just don't have the same level of flexibility, especially around comments and other overlays that you would in this system. But all of it is possible. It's just a matter of designing and understanding the parameters of each system, the limitations of that box. And once you know where those lines are, those boundaries are, then you know exactly what you need to do in order to get things to work. Another big thing I love about Ecamm, I can play my videos without having to down convert them, right? Degrade the quality, if you will. So a couple of different pros and cons here or there. Excited to be able to bring this to you. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. I hope that you got some value from this. Hope that you have already subscribed. But if you haven't, I'd love for you to take this journey with us. We're on a mission to get to 5,000 subscribers. We want to do that before the middle of the year. And I know that's a tall order, but we think that we can get there, especially with your help, your feedback. If you could tell us what exactly, what kind of videos you want to see that would help you get over the hurdle, right? So the whole point is for you to be able to share your message with your audience in a way that is meaningful, that takes the tech out of the way, right? We don't want the tech to be a distraction. We want it to be an enhancement. We want these platforms that have been built out for us to be a tool in your hands to be able to get across the message that you uniquely have to share. So whatever hurdles those are, if we can put out videos that will help you to get over those hurdles, let us know, and we'll gladly add it to our content schedule. And we hope that you will be around to benefit from them. So, and one of the ways that you can benefit from them is by not only hitting the like button, hope you did that already, but also hitting the bell so that you can be notified when we go live, when we have new content, or if we new premiere. So, the boy Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher, hoping that somewhere in the video today, you got you a little closer to figuring out how it all works. See you next week. With with a created burger and fast food with more meat than a Big Mac. Keep up, Russell.
Ralph's shoppers get up high quality and down low prices. Ralph's, fresh for everyone.
That's ready to Swift. Just grab a Swift Ready trainer with Swift Cop. It's ready for everyone. In the style, Swift Ready trainers with Swift Cop. Ready to ride, ready to Swift.
What's up, fam? It's your boy Kirk, and we're back with another video. I'm laughing because we're going to dive into a massive tutorial today. I'm going to show you everything I do for a client in terms of setting up StreamYard for a live stream production, right? We're talking custom background, custom lower third, even the videos that I do to introduce the speakers, everything, the entire thing. Here it is. So let's dive into it. Let's figure out what. So here I am on my desktop, and we are looking at a blank canvas here in StreamYard. So this is 1280 by 720. We know that by looking here and seeing the 1280 by 720 sign here. I'm going to just put up this standard background that StreamYard gives us. I'm going to open up another StreamYard tab in Chrome. And what I'm doing right now is actually grabbing the sizes for the different videos so that I can put something on them in Canva as I design the background. So here I'm going to stop my cameras. Probably going to just go ahead and select the webcam on one. Get that one going there, like that. And then on the other tab, I can go ahead and select the camera on that. Now, I've got it muted so that I can take a screenshot of this. And so now here, just Command Shift 4 on your Mac, or just grab the snipping tool on your Windows machine, and just get the whole thing, the whole size of the screen here, and we say okay. So that saves to the desktop, so we're good to go. Now over here in Canva, I'm going to create a design. Like I said before, we know that that design is 1280 by 720, so 1280 by 720. So here we are, blank canvas. I always like to start with black, especially for my background, because I'm going to turn the opacity down on whatever image I put on top of it. And I don't want it to get lighter. I want it to get darker. So I use black for that background for that reason. Now, however you have your graphics configured, I always ask my clients to send me an entire folder full of the headshots and high-res images, flyers, any material that will help me, especially in branding. And one of the things I like to do is uh, put it to take a flyer, take one of the flyers. This is the flyer they gave me for this, and put it on the background so that I at least can get a feel for, okay, so there's a lens here, there's some fall leaves, fall into focus is the design. So that gives me something. I'm going to add a page. Uh, that gives me something to work with. As I mentioned before, I always try to look for a stage, right? So I already have, like I said, some of the cheat codes I've used here is I already have all the content loaded into Canva in a folder called Kodo. Only thing I'm going to add here is the picture of the screenshot that I took a second ago with you on screen, which is going to help me to frame out, putting some backgrounds on a frame on a screen for us. So I'm going to do that part first, and then we're going to do some design. So here, delete that. I'm going to pull it in and allow it to take up the entire background. Right, so that's there. Come in here to elements, and we grab a square. Grab square, and the, one of the things I'm hoping to do here is grab it, put it right at the corner. Again, just trying to eyeball here. One of the things great is that this does have the ability to drag it across. I don't want to touch the center. I'm going to pull that down a little bit. Pull this down. So we want to not only, we don't want to just cover it. We don't want to just cover the exact dimensions. We want to go a little bit more. So here we check and see, okay, this is exact and here's a little more. And this is exact, here's a little more. Same for this side. If this is exact, and here's a little more. And that actually does take us right to the center. So one of the things that we can do now is copy this, paste it, and try to line it up with there it is. So now it's lined up, and now we have two boxes. That is how I create the frame. So it's going to make sense when I get this into Canva. So we'll see, okay, so that created the frame around the two primary videos that will be on screen. So that's going to be really good to have that. So I'm going to just keep that there. So we've got two pages so far. I'm just going to add another page. Um, put it up here. So I'm going to leave that one at the bottom. So here now we're looking at the blank canvas. I'm looking for a stage. I said this in my previous video, looking for a stage with lights. So I am, again, because I'm trying to conserve time, I've got this already ready to go. I like how that looks. That gives me a good look to it, but I think it's a little, I want a little more of the light side. I want a little less of the stage, so I'm going to pull that down some and change my opacity on this to bring that down so it's not as bright. The other thing that I like that what I want to do for this is to grab some fall colors. So here in Canva, you can click on effects if you have the professional version. You can go to background remote. Let's go ahead and crop it. Done. I'm going to flip it so I want it to turn the other way. Cool. So I think we'll leave that there. The name of this event is Fall into Focus. So we have a fall leaf here, and again, just going to turn the opacity down that a little bit so it's not as bright. fall into focus. So what I'm doing here is actually just I've grabbed Open Sans Extra. I've made all of the font capital, and I'm just making this orange, in this focus orange, because I'm trying to match the colors of this flyer. And it's one of the reasons why I do that is when you click on this now, I can actually go to see all, and that flyer is there here, and so I can match that color. So that's one of the things that I do in Canva. The name of the client is Church of the Oranges, so I'm going to put that in there. The other thing that I want to do is I wanted to somehow get a camera in here. I don't know how this is going to work out, but because it's focused, I wanted to get a camera in here. So I found this graphic inside Canva. So my plan is to make this smaller, much smaller, and then just put it right up next to the font thing here. And I'm gonna send backward. So now we're good. I'm gonna just grab these three, group them together so that I can move them together. So now I've got kind of a title for the top of my slide here. I have some foliage on the screen. I have this stage with these lights. So it kind of gives a good little view and picture of what we're going to be doing with that setup. So that's cool. What we also need to do is get our website. So we want to have the website and the logo here. So I'm just what I've done here is to just type in codosda.org. I use Montserrat Classic. I talked to you guys about that before. I grabbed an element. And I want one of the frames that's going to hold a picture. And probably one that has an outline around it that I can use to match. There we go. This one. So you can see it has an orange outline around it. I actually want to use the blue. So I'm going to use the blue. Come back to my folder where I have the content from my client, and then they have a logo here, this logo, and I want to put that in that circle, and you can see that's essentially all I did to create that over there. So I have that. Okay, grab those two, group them together so that I don't have to reinvent the wheel multiple times over. Now I want another element. And so here we're going to have frame. And again, I'm using these because they help you to really size your picture properly. So here is an example of that. So one of the three main leaders for this church, one is Dr. Aaron Stoddard, so put his picture in there. And okay, one of that. Now I'm sizing this here so that I don't have to size it, but it's smaller. But this is going to be much smaller. Some of this stuff I kind of went through with you guys as we went through this before. Now here again, I have the option to change that to orange, so that kind of matches some of the other things that we got going on here. So I've got that typed, match that to his picture here, put it under this picture, and then
Creative freedom. Welcome to infinity. You said you have present, right?
Oh, hey, you can use Tiny Circle 360 same day delivery to almost anywhere. It's like having a whole team of elves. Has anyone ever told you you kind of look like Santa? No.
Sending it Target Circle 360.
put these out so that they there. And sometimes you're just gonna need to use the keyword to really alter and kind of get an eyeball where you want that to be. There you have Pastor Stoddard, Pastor Peter, Pastor Stewart, Pastor Trusty, Pastor Johnston, and Pastor Sandals. And they had 4 weeks of this program, so I made a different background for each week. This happened to be the week 4 background. And I'm also adding in the Facebook and YouTube logos. So now we kind of have a bit of a template. I'm going to actually get rid of this guy for a second, and we're going to trash this one. This is our base. So this is what I would call background. And then we would duplicate that. We call this one background with frames, right? And the reason for that is I'm going to take these frames, put it on here the way that the way that we sized it for StreamYard in this picture here. So we grab here, drop those on, and you can see that that now has its frames. I can actually trash this one now. So I got my background. With frames. What I also want to do is create another one. So on this one, I'm going to get rid of this. One of the things you always want to do is group the things you can group so that they move together. I did not do that on Mute. That is very dangerous because if they move, you'll be spending so much time trying to figure out where to have that, how can I get it right. And you really want them all to be exactly in the same place on each one of your slides so that when you swap between them, it doesn't seem like things are shifting on screen during your live stream. So that on this one, we're going to actually get rid of this. We're going to grab our flyer, put that back on here. What I'm going to call this is our countdown clock. This background becomes the base for the countdown clock. Now, live program will begin shortly. Please take the time to share the stream. I just kind of adjust this down a little bit. And in this space, we'll put the clock. And for those that haven't seen how I create the countdown clock, I'm going to put that card right here in the video so that you can click that to see the rest of the process to create the countdown clock with eCam and using the cloudconverter.com. So I'll make sure that that part is here. So this is the setup for the countdown clock scene. The next thing that I'm going to do is create some lower thirds. Right? So what I like to do here now is to grab make you any kind of way. Again, there's no right or wrong to this, but I grab this guy here, and just because of the way we had set this up, I want to make it gray, make it black, I should say. I'm going to change my background to a different color so that it is very clear. Change the background to a different color, not the frame. Change the background to a different color so that it's very clear what we're using and what we're doing here. Make this way smaller. Right there, then we're going to go back to elements. This square is very helpful, very useful. And I'm looking for something else that will give me a different look and feel as well. So I'm going to grab this one. So here we have two elements that we pulled onto our canvas. I'm going to change both of them to white. Change both to white. Off white. Anyway, idea is to make this smaller. Push it right up to the back of this circle. So put that there, and then send it to the back. So now you're already kind of getting a feeling of what that the item would look like. I want the edge of this. I want the edge of this to have it pointing to it. So that's one of the ways you can do that is just by grabbing the element and making it like that. So you have that option there, and then the rest is just pulling down the picture of the person that you want to do the lower third for. Here, I'm going back to my photo folder, and then I'm gonna grab Pastor Pierre here, pull him into the picture. There you have it. So I mean, if I want to make it a little bigger, because this is the lower third, we don't need the whole body. We just need the head and maybe some. Boom, got that set. Looks decent. And so here, I've got his name already on here, and what I've done is just drop the logo for the church in the lower third as well. And I'm going, and I've taken his name, put it on here, then grab another set. I want you to see something. One of the things you're going to need to do when you have free floating text, depending on what is in the background, you never know what that is because it's going to be inside the screen. You want to go to effects and make sure that there's either a lift or a shadow on that, that item. So I'm going to put a shadow on it, and we will make that color black. So again, what you may not notice it now, but when you get this into StreamYard and somebody's actually on screen and I put their lower third up, you'll see that that pulls it off of the background and still allows people to read what it says. And for the purposes of this this live streaming event, I'm using their website in that bottom section and with the person's name on the lower third. So we have that now. The other thing that I'm going to want to do is to build out some of these speaker slides. So easiest way to do that is kind of, again, grabbing this background. I'm going to delete this, grab that, and just grab another element. We want a picture element this time for the speaker's headshots. And there's no, again, no right or wrong here, just a matter of what you want to achieve. Do. I'm going to use this one and center it in this space here. Go back to the folder where I've got my content and back to Johnston, put her picture in. You can adjust it down. I don't like cutting off their heads, but I do like this kind of scrap paper where it looks ripped, kind of a look. And then type her name, a little more Johnston, Pastor Woodbridge Seventh Adventist Church, Woodbridge, Virginia. So we have all this here, and I'll leave it literally just like this. This is what I would call speaker intro slide that I'm just going to call the LMJ for. And so what I've done essentially is I've done one of each. I've built out one lower third, I've built out one speaker slide, built out the countdown clock, built out the 3 backgrounds that can be used for the event. I should say 2 backgrounds, one that has frames, one that doesn't. Again, a lot of it's going to be dependent on the run sheet and how you have that stuff designed and set up. So I'm going to take you now. What I would do after I build out everything, I'll download them, start to upload some into StreamYard, and then begin to upload a number of them into my video editing platform, which I'm taking you to now, and that is Vhhh. Vhhh is, again, it's just one of those web-based cloud platforms that I do my quick and dirty stuff in. I am not really advocating to say, hey, everybody needs to go and use Vhhh, but I'm giving you an example of what I do here. So the other thing that I do is either have the client send me video clips of the speaker or video clips or YouTube links that I can grab and pull down. And so here is an example of one of the speakers. Let's go into that folder here. So I find content that I've already uploaded for Churches of Oranges photo. So you see all this content is already here. Here's one. Here's the one that we created, right? It looks exactly like that. I don't have one readily available for me right now, but I want you to kind of get a feel for what these look like. And I do some of these voiceovers myself.
Nutrient magnesium is made to care for your heart, bones, and muscles.
Native deodorant sprays on cleaning, which means no living clouds to harsh your vibe.
It's made. Tis the season of Brandon Road. Find everything you need to infuse your home with cheer and celebrate family traditions. Or start memories, the perfect living trees, keepsake ornaments, and cozy accents. Shop BrandonRoad.com.
Take it to another level with the iconic chocolate of Hershey's Kisses and creamy caramel of
Where's the
and creamy caramel of Robo candies. Dr. Andrew King is an acclaimed speaker who has spoken throughout the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, the Caribbean, and the continent of Africa. She is also the author of 2 books, Finding Christ and The Queen in Me. Now, Dr. Andrea has pastored for over 19 years. She currently serves as the senior pastor of the 16th Street Seventh Adventist Church in San Bernardino, California. She is married to her husband and life as a service of Dr. Kurt King. Together, they have 2 children. So that would be her speaker intro. And again, this is part of the package that I sell to people, sell to clients as they are looking for live streaming, broadcast engineering. If they're looking for our services, this is part of that package. So this does a number of things for me. It is a nice professional way to bring your speaker on stage, whether it be pre-recorded or if they are live. And what you can do in StreamYard while this video is playing is that you can actually begin moving people around. So while the video is playing, I take the host or whoever off screen, bring the speaker on screen, put their lower third up, and when that video is done, the speaker is ready to speak. So again, one of those things that just adds polish and to your live streams, to your broadcast. And so these are some of the things that we were able to do in for that project. The 2 things that I'm doing in terms of video editing, again, just using WeVideo as a quick and dirty way to edit these up. Another thing I love about WeVideo is that it does allow me to compress the files, get it into a size and a length that StreamYard would work with. So now we've done all the heavy lifting. Back over here on StreamYard, and I'm going to stop my camera, head back into the studio. What I'm going to do is, again, didn't want to take you through all of this stuff, so having to load those things. I already have them all loaded. Here it is. So here you have all the focus strips and orders. So you've got the camera there, kind of a nice look and feel to it, give that fall foliage. If you look here at the bottom, we have this week 4 with frames. We have this without frames. So depending on how many people are on screen, I can change it to this other one. But if there are 2 people on screen, which for the most part, the run sheet called for mainly 2 people on screen at a time, I can use this one and we can show you really quickly what that looks like when we are on screen. So I'm going to actually turn my camera on this side into the broadcast studio on this other tab so that I can have both of the cameras that are connected to the system in the studio. So add that one as my webcam into the broadcast studio. So now on for both. Click this one and add both to the screen. Get this thing muted. And so now you see what that looks like with both of those videos on screen, and you see that frame that's around it. Really good, clean look for people. In the logo section, I have the logo loaded, but I only do that when I have somebody in full screen. Let's take a look at what a full screen looks like. So hit the solo layout. Here I have the lower third for Dr. L.P. Stoddard, and I can put up the logo. So again, full control over what the look and feel is here in the system. There are several other lower thirds for the speakers that were there. And again, we did actually move and leave the studio back over here. I don't need to start screaming at me. So again, here are the other videos. So the intro video that we talked about. Here's the countdown clock that we set up. Again, some music is playing. Countdown is going. Flyer is there. We know that they're in the right place, and it allows you some time to kind of get prepped ready. That countdown clock finishes. While that countdown clock is up, I always put up the flyer so that when that countdown clock finishes, within a couple of seconds, that finishes that few seconds that I had. Before the speaker for the day speaks, I can actually come through pastor, author, press, founder for Blue Video. Lola Moore Jonathan is a motivational speaker. Help the course and for discovering their lifestyle. In front of the service as a senior pastor for Woodbridge Stone Baptist Church, sized it down to fit in this charismatic and multi-talented on top of this and performance that are dedicated to of impacting lives with the back to voiceover of the bio is read. So these bios are sent to me by the client for each of their speakers. And again, that in a nutshell kind of gives you a full picture of what I do to run a live stream for the client. And again, a full picture of the design of what we do in Canada. So that was a long one. I was looking at the time, like, I don't know how I'm going to edit this thing out. I hope I can get it under 40 minutes, but I'm really hoping that you were able to see the full process. I don't do these longer videos that often, but I did want to do one here because I felt like it has been one of the requests we've had is we want to kind of see the fuller picture of what you do to run live streams for clients. And so this kind of gives you a better idea. This is in this particular instance, it's not my church. This is actually a church in New Jersey. They are good friends of mine, but I'm so happy that they chose composition and me particularly to be able to do their broadcast setup, design, and production. So excited about that. And we did use StreamYard for that, and it was a success. Um, if there's any questions at all about any of the different pieces, the custom designs in Canva, the countdown clock, hopefully you found that other video that covers that. Um, Even the video editing, uh, in whatever video editor that you desire, if you're using LumaFusion, if you're using, there's so many of them out there right now. WeVideo is just one of the ones that I started using a long while back for quick edits like these. I still use Final Cut and DaVinci Resolve for other things, for larger projects, especially stuff that I want to keep on my computer and I want to upload to the cloud. But for quick video edits, I love WeVideo and these cloud editing platforms because they do give you that ability to just be able to get in there, get it done, and processing in terms of the export, the rendering. It's not happening on your computer, it's happening in the cloud. So some huge benefits there. One of the other reasons why we like StreamYard is because those things are happening in the cloud. Man, I'm hoping that you got some value from this one. Again, apologies for the length, but we hope to do longer videos like these now because we want to make sure that we're giving people a fuller picture instead of the small bite-sized videos that we have been doing. It's your boy Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. Somewhere in this video, somewhere in either in Canva or in WeVideo or in StreamYard, we're hoping that a light bulb went off, that you were able to see some of the possibilities that you can do. I am convinced that somebody out there is going to see what I've done in this video and they're going to say, I can improve. And I would love that. In fact, I throw out that challenge to the audience today, asking that you would let me know if you came up with ways to tweak it slightly where you could do something that looks even better. Again, we're hoping that you're taking this journey with us. We've reached one of our goals and we're excited about that. First two goals. Now we want to get to 5,000 subscribers. And that is just the first of the waters. It's not like there's something that happened on YouTube. but we're sitting right around 1,500, under 1,600 subscribers, and we're excited about that. That means that people are responding to the content in phenomenal ways, and we intend to continue pushing that content. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and the bell so that you can be notified when new content like this comes on the channel or when we go live. Because we do have that live show every Monday, 5:30 Central Standard Time. And we're excited to be able to bring this kind of content to you. We hope to see you again.
Child is in the hospital. Visitors come to say hello. And when visiting hours are over, they leave. But family does whatever it takes to stay. At Ronald McDonald's House, we believe families shouldn't have to fight alone. So we make sure they have everything they need with a community of support, warm meals, and a place to rest. Because when a child is sick, someone is safe. And Ronald McDonald's House is with them. Donate today at ronaldmcdonaldshouse.org.
What's up, fam? It's your boy Kurt Nugent, and we're back with another installment of this new series, How I Do My Live Streams. And I'm kind of doing things a little out of order.